Hey everybody, in today's video, I'm gonna talk to you about water. Now, probably seems like the most boring, mundane topic that you've ever heard of, but I wanna shed light on a few things, primarily 4 things that you should really know. So let's get right into it. Obviously, water is super important. You're gonna hear a lot of videos of people telling you how much water to drink, half your body weight in ounces, more if you sweat, you know, the importance of drinking water. I hope by now that everyone knows that water is very important. Our bodies are 60 to 70% made of water. Water is pretty well responsible for everything that happens in our body. So, I mean, drink it. But what I am going to talk to you about today are 4 characteristics of water that you may have never thought of. I found this stuff really interesting when I started learning about it, and it gives you a framework that allows you to make sure that the water that you are consuming is benefiting you in the best way. So let's go over the 4 things of water that you need to know. The first thing is that water should have no toxins of any sort. Some people think, well, you know, we can't see the toxins, so what could possibly be in it? Well, lots of stuff. You can have things like fluoride, chlorine, lead, pharmaceutical drugs, radioactive material, pesticides, herbicides, rodenticides, things from agricultural runoff. People have even found fecal matter in their water, so it can get pretty gross. So it's important that we not only have a good water filtration system, but we also consider these things when we go out and purchase that. So the first thing is water should have no toxins of any sort. It should be completely pure. The second thing is that water should contain as many minerals from the earth and the sea as possible. The minerals inside the water is the thing that really benefits us the most. Magnesium, for instance, helps pull water inside of the cell. So if you have a magnesium deficiency, then sometimes you can be drinking water, but you don't feel hydrated, or you're not getting the benefits of drinking all that water. Maybe you drink and you pee it all out. You know, so these trace minerals and things like magnesium can really help to do that. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we can remineralize our water for very, very cheap, and using things that might be a little bit more expensive but have been shown to be a little bit more beneficial. The third thing that we rarely consider is water needs to be in motion. So if you think about how water would be found in nature, it would be running down a river, or falling off a waterfall, or running through a stream. And that motion of the water does something that's very important, which I'll talk to you about in step 4. So one of the ways that we can kind of mimic this sense of water being in motion, a very simple way, is to just shake up your water in your water bottle. I know it sounds really silly, but if we just look out into nature, that's what we would see. We would see that ideally it's pure. Second thing, it has minerals from the earth and the sea. And third, it's commonly in motion. You can think about if you've ever been out for a hike and you find a pond and it's still, if you look at it, there's tons of bacteria and tons of stuff that you would definitely not want to drink on that water because it hasn't been disturbed. So drinking water needs to be in motion. And the fourth thing is that water should be structured. Now, many of you may be thinking, what is structured water? Structured water actually looks different under a microscope. It has this hexagonal shape to it. If you want to read something absolutely incredible on what water could potentially look like under a microscope, I would highly suggest checking out the book Hidden Messages in Water by Masaru Emoto. He shows evidence of the things that can happen to water, and I guarantee you, if we show 2 pictures here and here, you would tell me very easily which one that you would rather drink. So water under a microscope does look a lot different, and structuring this water can have a role on the benefits that it gives to you. Some people have said that it can improve your sleep, it can help with things like hypertension and regulating blood sugar, it can give you better energy levels. The list of benefits from drinking structured water are actually pretty significant, and I highly recommend that you check it out. The best way to do this, the most simple way, is to just give your water a nice shake before you drink it, or purchase from a company who has actually been shown to structure their water in the process of giving it to you. So assuming most of us aren't getting our water from a natural spring or a glacier river, it is my belief that all other water should be purified, remineralized, put through a vortex of some sort, which I can show you how to mimic, and then finally structured. If you can take care of these 4 things and make them a priority in the water that you drink, I promise your body will thank you for it. Now, let's talk about purifying your water first. So there are many water filtration systems out on the market that range from very cheap to extremely expensive. And I'm gonna talk about a few of the ones that I've used in this video and just let you know which ones are my favorite. So this water filter here is from a company called Santivia. I really like this one. It's pretty cheap. It's about $50, and you just pour the water in the top here, and it filters it through. It's got a charcoal based water filter, which is a really nice. Charcoal is a chelator, so it binds to different toxicants. Now this one, you'll notice that when you put it through, it does come out really quick, so which always leaves people asking the question, is it really working? I will say that I definitely do notice a difference in the taste of the water. Whether if I just drink some normal tap water or I put it through this, it does offer a big difference in taste, which is honestly enough for me to continue to use this filter. I use this specifically for, let's say I'm making tea or boiling water, or yesterday I made soup, so I put this water in. I have a little bit of a more advanced filter that I'll show you next that I use for my drinking water, but this is just a really nice one. It's 50 bucks, and you can replace the filter every 60 days, which makes it, you know, relatively affordable. This water filter here is called a Santivia countertop model unit. So the thing I really love about this one is inside of it, it's got a 7-stage filtration system that takes it through charcoal, sand, and it also, so like I said, it purifies the water, but then it remineralizes it with mineral stones that are in the bottom, and then also it has alkalizing rocks. So that can lower the acidity of your water, which has been shown to have some pretty good benefits on the body. Now, because your skin is your largest organ, I actually really like to use a shower filter as well. So this one's a carbon-based shower filter, just like the Santivia quick filtration system I showed you. And this is really good. My girlfriend was having issues with her hair falling out, and after using this, she noticed a big difference. So if you have issues with your skin, your hair, water filtration in your shower can go a long way. I think this is about 50 bucks, and we've had it for about 6 months. So it's got a pretty good lifespan, and I would highly recommend this. So that covers the purifying process. So now what we want to do is we want to remineralize the water. So we have a few options for that. The first thing that we can consider is trace mineral drops. So this one is called open sourced Aussie Trace Minerals, and it's actually got kind of like a little mint flavor. You can get unflavored if you'd like. I've had mint, and then I believe I had lime one time. And this one has 72 trace minerals in it. I'll just read you the back. In addition to being very high in absorbable magnesium, it also contains 73 other minerals and trace elements, making it an extremely complete and balanced formula. So remineralizing your water with these drops not only can help it make it taste a little bit better, but can really help you with the trace mineral content. The next thing that I'd recommend, that I've been an advocate for a while now and have made a blog post on this in the past, is Shilajit. So this is the one I use from a company called Meadow Life, and it just says Panacea Pure Shilajit tablets. They're 400 milligrams each, and I'll show you what they look like. So they just come in these little tabs like so, and if I pop one out, it's just a black tab. I will warn you, it's packed earth, so it does not taste great. What I do is I put about 4 or 5 of them in hot water. I wait about 10 minutes, it dissolves them all, and I get kind of this, like, I only use like this much water. It's this murky brown appearance, and I take that and I drink it. The Shilajit has 3 main things in it that I want to talk to you about. Now the first one's a very long word, but don't get discouraged. It's pretty simple what it does. Dibenzo alpha pyrones. And basically, to sum this all up, it is an enhancement for your mitochondria. So I'm sure if you think back to high school science, you'll remember that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. For this video, we'll stop there, but the mitochondria actually does so much more. The energy that it creates is called ATP, and this energy is important for everything that you do in a day. If you don't have the creation of ATP, you're not going to be able to do much because you won't have any energy. So it's very, very important. And these things can actually improve mitochondrial efficiency. And it's one of the very few supplements that's actually been tested in healthy people, which is very good for us to know, because a lot of times if they test on individuals who are in ill health, it brings them up to baseline, but how many supplements actually have a profound effect on healthy individuals? I feel personally that more work needs to be done on healthier individuals so that we can know going into it, if we just want to up our game a little bit more, that it's going to make a difference. And Shilajit has been tested on that, so that is very good. The second thing in Shilajit that I want to go over is called humid acids. So humid acids is actually a group of molecules that bind to and help plant roots receive water and nutrients. And humid acid deficiencies can prevent farmers from growing plants with optimum nutrition. And fulvic acids, finally, the third thing you'll find in shilajit, helps bind to and eliminate toxins. So just like I talked about carbon being a chelator, these fulvic acids can help do the same thing. So those three things are a really big reason why I like taking that. It's a trace mineral supplement, helps you absorb the nutrients in your water and in your food a lot more efficiently. So you might be the person that eats healthy, but you still feel unwell. It could be that you're deficient in trace minerals, and this could offer a big solution. The third thing is a form of magnesium. Now, I will say, I've been using this one, Pure Labs. I like it, but I will say I'm a big fan of whole food supplements rather than individual supplements. The research is kind of murky. Some people will say supplements work, some people say supplements don't work. I like to get my supplements or my foods in the closest, purest form that they can be found in real life. So that's why I went for the trace mineral drops or the shilajit, but magnesium has been shown for sure to help people sleep better, relax. And like I said at the beginning of the video, magnesium is responsible for pulling water into the cells. So that is also a very good road that you could take. Now, let's say you're a person that really is tight on cash and doesn't want to go out spending and experimenting with all these supplements. Well, I have a solution for you as well. I would recommend that everybody drinks a glass of water with a pinch of salt in it. Now, I use Himalayan salt here, but Celtic salt has actually been shown to have the highest amount of mineral content and the most diverse strain of minerals. A little pinch of salt in your water just one time a day can be a really cheap and affordable way to give you those trace minerals and make sure you're benefiting from all the stuff that we've talked about previous in this video. Now, one last thing on trace minerals, they are essential. So if they're not obtained through the diet, your body's not gonna make them. So that's why salt, shilajit, those trace mineral drops are a very important thing to consider when you're looking at hydrating your body and drinking water. Now, if you're like me, some of you may be thinking like, okay, this is all cool, but how do we do that vortex thing? How do we structure our water? And to be honest, one of the ways that I was thinking about was staring at my water filter on the counter, and I was thinking, yeah, you're right, you know, it is pretty still. So how do I get this vortex? But then I opened the tap to pour the water out, and I noticed that the water falls in a spiral motion. So it felt good for me to know that my water is being put through a vortex. It is being shaken up a little bit on the way out into my glass. Now, when someone tells you to drink more water, it could probably sound annoying. I get it. But the thing is most people actually don't take their water that seriously. And I'm a huge believer in laying a super, super strong foundation before you start getting into all the fancy stuff. And water is definitely one of those things. It's very easy to say, oh yeah, I drink enough water, and you drink poor water quality, or you're not absorbing the water that you're drinking, and then everything you're gonna do on top of that isn't really going to be, the benefits are not going to be maximized because we never really laid that foundation. So the point in this video is to get people to take their water very seriously, to ask more questions about their water, and I hope I gave you a few options of how to integrate these tools that you can use to make your water cleaner, mineralize your water, put that water through a vortex, and ultimately structuring it so that your body will thank you later. That is all I have to say on water in today's episode. I got lots more we can talk about. Please let me know in the comments section which questions you have or things that you would like to hear in future videos. For now, I'm out.